YouTube, Chrissy G here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and blessed week thus far. Now, you know, when I'm sitting in this chair, this is a keep it real, story time, candid conversation type video, because I just wanted to talk about, you know, what a lot of us may be going through in this season, me, myself. And so we're going to have a little bit of story time, a little bit of reflective time, and I'm just going to talk to you candidly about what I've been going through and how I've been processing and working through that. So last week I talked about disappointment, and that kind of correlates with what I want to talk about today. Today I want to talk about basically how we are handling ourselves in our current season, this whole pandemic, staying at home, isolation, and things like that. And I don't know about you, but I struggle with being present. I struggle with being present and keeping space, you know, for myself, for my son, and for God, and for my husband. And I just feel like I'm having a hard time balancing doing too much and not doing enough. Like I'll have days where, I mean, from sun up to sundown, I'm moving, I'm doing things. I mean, this house is spotless and I'm doing this and this and that. And then I'll have some days where I'm like, I really don't feel like adulting today. I don't feel like doing anything. And I don't know about you, but I deal with guilt in that aspect of it because I'm like, I have so many dreams and aspirations and the vision that God has given me for my life, you know, in my career as a mother, as a wife. And I'm like, I need to tackle all of these things and I need to be 100% on point all the time. But how many of us can be honest and say that's not us? Like, it's very difficult to be 100% all the time, you know, because nobody's perfect. You know, we can aspire to be like Jesus, but we're not Jesus. And sometimes I find it difficult to not be so hard on myself, but also to push myself to do better and to be better. You get what I'm saying? So there's like a thin line, and it's constantly, you know, a scaling battle on which one will win in any particular day. Especially when I am having my quiet time with God, I find myself being distracted by my thoughts, by social media, by the list of things that I need to get done. And I almost catch myself saying, God, I don't have time for you today. I have all of this stuff that I need to do. And immediately I rebuke that thought because I'm like, He is the first thing that I should be focusing on every day. My time with God is so important to me. And to be honest, I couldn't bring forth anything to you guys each week if it wasn't for that time that I am dedicating into studying God's word, into praying to Him, and especially in worship. I mean, worship takes me in. I feel like that is when God speaks to me the most, is when I am just bearing my heart out in worship to Him. And so that time is important, but a lot of the times I am constantly battling my flesh and trying to have my spirit win over the flesh and say, no, this is what we're going to do. This is what we have to do. So I don't know who's struggling in that today, but I want you to just take a deep breath. First of all, just relax. And I want you to know that God sees what you're doing. He sees your heart. He sees your intentions, and He knows that you want to draw near to Him and you want to abide in Him and you want access to His peace and His love, but you are just boggled down mentally and sometimes physically and emotionally by everything that's happening around you and not happening around you because we're at home, right? So a lot of us are just wallowing in that silence and that stillness, and it's not good for us. Because that's when the enemy tries to come in and creep in and sow those negative seeds into our minds and into our hearts about ourselves, about our relationships, about who we are, our career, whatever have you. And, you know, the enemy loves to make us feel like we're worthless. The enemy loves to see us fail and falter and lose sight of our value in God. But I want to remind you that God is who is sustaining you and strengthening you in this time. So I don't want you to be hard on yourself when you have these moments of distraction and when you have these moments of, I don't feel like doing anything, Lord. Like, I don't even want to pray to you right now. I don't even want to read my Bible because I am so mentally bogged down and I have so much going on in my mind and in my heart right now that I don't know how to manage these things. I'm dealing with disappointment. I'm dealing with despair. I'm dealing with, maybe a physical ailment. I'm dealing with financial distress. I'm dealing with things going on in my relationships. I'm dealing with myself, self-love, my worthiness, my value. I'm dealing with a lot of things, God, and I don't know how to put those things aside so that I can focus solely on you. But God, in all his wisdom and all his compassion, knows these things already. So he is constantly feeding into our spirits his love and his wisdom and his peace, even when we don't know to ask for it. So that is why it's important to pray to God, even if the prayer is, God, I don't know what to say. And I don't feel like I can say anything. So I am just asking you to come here with me and abide with me. Sit with me, Lord, in this mess, in this sorrow, in this disappointment, in this season of uncertainty. I just need you to sit with me and listen to my heart and my spirit cry out to you because I have no words right now. Even if that's all you can say, God is there and God is able to take hold of you and give you his peace when we find ourselves in places where we did not expect. How do we deal with that? How do we deal with the disappointment? How do we deal with the surprise? Because you think your life is going one way, then bam, something completely different happens and we're thrown in a tailspin and we don't know how to get out of it. We don't know how to break the cycle. We don't know how to move forward. So I want to encourage someone today to take little steps. Let go of the guilt of the things that you were not able to accomplish, of the disappointments that are seeking to weigh you down. Let it go. Let it go and give it all to God, because those are the things that are weighing you down. When you're focused on what you didn't accomplish yesterday and what you were hoping to accomplish but didn't transpire because of COVID-19, because of something else that fell through and didn't go your way, I want you to let it go. And I want you to know that your yesterday does not determine your tomorrow. I want you to know that God is still working and God is still good in the midst of all of this uncertainty and everything that's going on. I want you to know that you are very capable of handling everything that's on your plate right now. But you have to learn to prioritize your time with God and yourself. You have to learn to keep space for yourself and keep space for your significant other and keep space for the things that are important to you, so that you can thrive and that you can learn to be able to manage all of the things that are going on in your life, but still be great and still operate in a spirit of excellence. You can do it because I'm doing it. And it doesn't mean that it's easy, because trust me when I say that every day it is a struggle, okay? To be present and to show up and to give it all I've got. Every day it is a struggle. So don't think that I'm making this look easy. I am not. I am not. I literally have to drag myself to do things sometimes. So it is a constant war between the flesh and the spirit. So I don't want you to think that this is an easy task. It takes constant training, which is why I cannot miss a moment to spend with my Father. In this current season, you have to learn to keep space. Most importantly for God, and then for yourself, because then you'll be able to tackle all the other things that you have on your plate that you desire to accomplish. You must also learn how to deal with disappointment, because when we're faced with disappointment, we tend to either bury that emotion and be like, okay, whatever, it happened. I'm moving on and I'm going to forget that ever happened. Or we tend to act out irrationally, to disappointments, whether it's throwing, adult tantrums or, getting overly angry and bitter and resentful. And it's like, is that an appropriate emotion for what you're dealing with? Maybe, maybe not. But you have to recognize that, okay, I am disappointed because X, Y, and Z. And this is what I feel about it. and I'm going to accept this feeling, but I'm not going to wallow in it and I'm not going to stay here. No, I'm going to let God work on me and work on my heart in this season, and then I'm going to move forward. Because I know for a lot of us, there were things that we had planned, okay? And there are things that we wanted to happen in our lives that just didn't happen for things that were out of our control. And so we are disappointed, and a lot of us are resentful, and a lot of us are angry. But I want you to know that it's okay to feel those things, but don't stay there. You have to keep moving forward. You have to find a place in your life and in your mind where you can come to peace with your reality, and then work through it and do what you need to do so that you can progress, so that you can be great, and so that you can be prepared when this season is over, because this season will come to an end. This season will come to an end, but it will not be the end of your story, because then you'll begin the new chapter, and then God will be able to show you what His will is for you, and God will be able to do even great and better things than you ever imagined. So that disappointment that you feel now will be nothing compared to the glory and the wonderment that you'll feel in the future going forward, because God's perfect will always be done, and God is always working things out for our good. So I don't want you in this season to be hard on yourself. I don't want you to feel guilty, and I don't want you to allow yourself to be buried by your burdens. I want you to be able to give those things to God. I want you to be able to love yourself and value yourself enough to know that maybe I can't handle this. Maybe this is too much for me. So I'm going to let God handle this for me. I'm going to give myself permission to rest in God and allow Him to carry me through, because I can't do this on my own, and I'm struggling, Lord. And I need you. I need you, God. I need you, oh Lord, because I am drowning in my emotions. I am drowning in my thoughts and in my desires and in my disappointments. And I need you to help me strike a balance so that I can walk in your strength, and that I can strengthen myself mentally, physically, emotionally, so that I, at the end of this season, will be whole and will be better than I was before. That is my thought process for today, and I hope that it encouraged someone. And thank you for listening and allowing the Spirit to kind of just work through me and me to get it out. You guys are amazing, and I hope that you're staying safe, and I hope that you are keeping space for yourself and for God. Love you guys.